length of stay comes out of us, for the most part. I'm not saying that the external world doesn't have something to do with it, but I find that most of it has to do with ourselves. And Nancy, if you can get them, there's a document we have solving short length of stay that we want to get in, and I'll just address that. Because there's multiple aspects of this. Okay, the first thing I think we have to take a look at is, again, what are the types of patients we're admitting, what are the types of patients we're not admitting, and maybe we're taking everything. So therefore, obviously the education of the referral source by or via the virtue of the patients that we admit or don't admit, is probably the first thing I look at, because I look at any time we say no to someone that we just physically scar them. And a lot of times you can almost never get it back. I mean, that. Now with that said, obviously we have, does the patient meet hospice criteria? Does it, whatever. As far as I'm concerned, we can go anywhere from that 10 to 16% discharge rate. As far as if we're going to quantify it. But the point is, I think that if we get a referral from a physician, and that's covered in another thing, but okay, we have these things called kid gloves. Okay, that whoever, I would call up the physician if the person doesn't look like they meet criteria and say, hey, Dr. Smith, first of all, we want to thank you for referring Miss Emma, to us. Now, Dr. Smith, we've looked at this several ways, and I mean, we don't see where she's really fitting the criteria of. Maybe we're missing something here. Okay, so it's a very gentle letdown with super sensitive emphasis on the emotions of the physicians. Because they're smart guys or gals and stuff, and so, and I'll just say this: most of the time we take that gray. We're not seeing it quite the same, but we also realize that you've had a much longer relationship with this patient than we have. So we may just have visited on a good day, what have you. We're going to go ahead and admit and watch, and then we're going to use the discharge process as it was intended, and then, reevaluate at the end of that cert period.